You'll never know what hit you. Won't see me closing in. I'm gonna make you suffer. This hell you put me in. I'm underneath your skin. The devil within. You'll never know what hit you.
Hello and welcome to Season 2 of Ionized Basterds. I'm your Game Master, Michael. I am so glad to finally be back here in the GM seat. I don't have a GM screen because it doesn't work with my setup, but you get the picture. Very glad to be here for Season 2. Before we get started and before I introduce my players, a very brief announcement in regards to the season in case you missed it on Twitter. We have switched game systems. No longer are we using Fantasy Flight Games narrative dice system, Edge of the Empire, Force of Destiny, and Age of Rebellion. Love that system. A lot of good memories with it. But for the purposes of the show, we felt it best if we converted it to Star Wars 5th Edition, which is a fan-made conversion of D&D 5e with Star Wars flavoring. So we've remade everyone's characters in that. Still same characters. We've just translated it now into a different game system that I think will play better just on screen for everyone. So without further ado, let's introduce our players. First and foremost, reprising his role as Fabian Martel from Season 1, it's my good friend, Jared. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Our number one fan, Miss Taylor, decided to mark tonight by getting me a bottle of peanut butter whiskey to celebrate the return of Ionized Basterds. So I'm sipping on a neat sheepdog peanut butter whiskey, and I'm ready to save the galaxy again.
Hell yeah, brother. Next up, a very dear friend of mine gives some of the best hugs you can ever receive in your life from the Bombad cast, the one, the only, Jerry.
Hi, it's good to be here. It's great to be here for Season 2. I'm glad I survived last season.
Look at you being in the season premiere this time.
I know. Scott. My co-host Scotty was like, watching through. Was like, when the hell does Jerry come into this thing? And like, yeah. So yeah,
halfway through.
40 came in halfway through, and life stuff I had going on last time. But I'm excited to be a full part of the team now. We have a team. This is great. I'm excited to be here. And again, like Michael said, I'm on the Bombad cast, so you can catch me there if you like me on this little program.
Hey, Lamau. And next up, our dear friend, CM Punk Stan, reprising his role as Thalmor Sheems. It's Alden Diaz.
Why do I come to any of these things? Why am I doing this if I'm just gonna have wounds poked at, scraped on air?
Michael could have easily said everybody's favorite character from this show, and instead chose.
I had to knock him down.
CM Punk
okay,
there.
He chose to be hurtful.
Just the look of sadness that came onto Alden's face as he came onto screen while holding a light beer was something to behold. Is all I've got to say. That was just wow. It's really okay, buddy. We're here.
A lot of people don't realize that, despite the fact that there's an element of performance and character building and some theater in this show, it's actually the truest representation of who everyone is. I truly am a light beer drinking huckster carny with a broken heart on the inside. So,
and aren't we all at the end of the day?
It's true. Some people are more carny than others, but
I'm a wine drinking friendly automaton. That's what I am.
Nice.
Yeah. And Jared's an edgelord.
I was gonna say I'm a gay edgelord with a lightsaber.
And a few too many blickies.
Like that sometimes.
And so many blickies this season.
Also, just for tonight, Dan Miller is not with us. He's having some Wi-Fi issues tonight.
He's still alive.
Premiere. He's still alive. He's still on the show. Zuso's coming back. He's not going anywhere.
Also, for the record, he's traveling and having Wi-Fi issues. He's not having Wi-Fi issues.
I would never accuse Dan of having
he is
poor Wi-Fi within his
very
own home.
proud of his
I'm
internet
a
speed.
gentleman like that.
Yes.
But yeah, so Dan won't be here for this episode, but by the next episode he should be back. So without further ado, are we ready to get started, lads?
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh, you're so back.
So
Let's do it.
when last we left off, the crew of the Ionized Bastards had saved the galaxy, really. A sinister droid by the name of Salvage had attempted to take control of an army of droids at an old separatist droid factory. However, through the valiant efforts of the Ionized Bastards, with a little help from some friends along the way, managed to stop this droid from assembling this army and destroy the factory. However, Salvage did manage to get away, though he was initially presumed destroyed. It seemed that one of his servants, I don't know, that's probably the best way to put it, Orox Ryza managed to fish out
One of his thralls.
Yeah, his thrall. Ooh, okay. His thrall, Orox Ryza, managed to salvage his central processing unit and escape the junkyard Leviathan. However, not much has been heard of Salvage since. In the meantime, Thobor Sheem split off from the Ionized Bastards to return back to work on Daiyu, though seemed a little discontent with the life he previously lived and decided to maybe make some changes. Fabian, Zuso, and Forty, in the 6 months since then, have been taking on some odd jobs, still keeping in contact with their New Republic friend, Donric Callan, who kicks some intel their way anytime there's some potential sightings of anyone who even looks like Orox Ryza, as they're still on the hunt for Salvage, while also just doing some good along the way, making a few credits, you know.
A-team shit.
Yeah, exactly. Thobor, meanwhile, decided to turn in his old contacts to the New Republic. He visited Coruscant and delivered to them many pieces of information, not many information, I know how to speak, about various crime syndicates as well as Imperials he had gotten off in his time. However, some of that information got out, and people know that Thobor ratted a bunch of people out. And so now the Hutt Cartel, the Pike Syndicate, Crimson Dawn, and Black Sun all want him dead. Not to mention whatever Imperial remnant is still out there somewhere. So Thobor, in an act of desperation, managed to get his pal Pre-Poke off Daiyu while holding up in a safe house there, and called Fabian Martel, asking desperately for help. So,
Yeah.
we pick up season 2 on a dark, cold night on Daiyu. Rain pouring down on its neon sky set. On the kind of warehouse district here on Daiyu. It's quiet. It's quiet. In one of the warehouses, there's the sound of blasters, the swinging of a lightsaber, an explosion or two. Sounds like some computer panels are being pressed in a desperate attempt to open this door before there's a flash of light as something cuts the hinge from this door. Fabian, what color is your lightsaber this season?
As of now, Fabian's lightsaber is still red. Much to his chagrin, he has, over the course of these last 6 months, sat down a number of times to attempt to purify his lightsaber crystal, and each time is met with visions and flashes back from his time as an Inquisitor, from his time in the pits, his time as a bounty hunter, and every time is just kind of left wondering whether or not he can actually do that.
Okay. So there's a scarlet blur that cuts through this door. As suddenly, Fabian, you boom, shoulder tackle the door down. Describe visually what Fabian looks like in case there's any new viewers or in case there's any visual changes to Fabian this season.
Yeah, so Fabian's loadout has changed significantly. He left his Inquisitor helmet behind on the Junkyard Leviathan as it crashed. So now he has a helmet that's kind of like covers mostly his face. His hair is visible, it just kind of covers like the face area. Still with the tactical scanners. He's wearing light armor. It's kind of like shades of blue and chrome with a navy blue undersuit. His hair has grown out a little bit more. It was kind of like mid-length. Now it's like almost shoulder length now. And Fabian has 2 blasters on his hip and 2 on his shoulder holsters and maintains the rest of his loadout. I don't know how Michael let me get away with having 4 guns, but he did.
Because you have a lightsaber, dog. It doesn't matter how many guns you have.
It's true. It is true.
So Fabian cuts through this door, knocks it down, starts ushering the next character toward their ship in waiting. Thawbor, would you like to describe what you're looking like right about now as Fabian Martel kind of drags you by the arm behind him?
Well, Thawbor Sheems only wears the finest clothes, colorful, loud, in your face, memorable. But a little worse for wear. Left the good stuff at my actual apartment. And so coming out of this safe house where I've been for, I don't know, what did we agree on?
Like a week?
Like probably just enough to the point where it needs a shower in a concerning way. A little bit of facial hair, try to keep that maintained. Got my translator hump up here, big Athorian. So it's like, there should be a lot of grace, and maybe there's not. Maybe there's a lot of talking with hands and things. I have a droid named Kimmy, who used to be about the size of I don't know, used to be the size of like a Game Boy, and is now Lola from that one TV show, and then now is about the size of like a record like they used to play on Earth, and so now she's inside of the old pocket here, and after a lot of the scraps we got into while taking on salvage, I figured, might have to bust a cap at some point, but I don't want to be doing all this, so just a little wrist blaster for me.
Okay. So Fabian, as you're sort of dragging Thawbor out of this warehouse, as you continue deflecting a few bolts, cutting your way toward the Bastard on the other side of this warehouse district, taking up the rear, Jerry, if you would like to describe 4D visually as he fires back at some of the bounty hunters in pursuit.
40 is, of course, looking at being an HK assassin droid. He looks a little intimidating. And to actually help with that, he has had Zuzo paint a smiley face over his blank faceplate, so that he seems more friendly, but it actually makes him look a little slightly terrifying. But it's what he wanted to do. But yeah, no, he's got a little more. I forget his loadout that he has right now, but we're just he's kicking ass and feeling sorry about it.
A big ass gun. I remember it being big,
very big.
Yeah, like basically an anti-tank rifle and a heavy repeating blaster, if I remember correctly.
Something like that.
And a winning personality.
So 40 is taking a few more shots at these bounty hunters as he's coming out of this warehouse. Letting off apologies as bodies are dropping.
Stop apologizing to them! They're trying to kill me!
Oh, sorry, friend. Die! Sorry.
That's more like it. I've always knew you had it in you.
Die, you imperial dogs.
So you guys are sprinting your way through this district of Daiyu. You're cutting corners, cutting bounty hunters off at the pass. Fabian disarms one or two of them, in some cases, literally.
Oh my!
And as you guys make
Give
it
him
to
the
the edge
old
of this
hawk scuff.
yeah, exactly. As you guys make it to the edge of this warehouse district, a ship comes downward, a familiar ship to you, the Ionized Bastard, and the ramp lowers. While it's still in the air, it hasn't actually landed. It's just waiting expectantly for you to jump in. I assume you all get in the Bastard.
Yeah, I think Fabian tries to like expedite the process and gives 4D and Thawbor a little bit of a boost with the force while he's kind of, giving like defensive cover fire, like letting off a few shots with his blaster while deflecting other incoming fire. And then probably like as the Bastard is like gets a little bit higher, kind of like force leaps up.
Awesome. Yeah. So you do that force leap up onto the ramp. As the ramp starts to come up, there are a few more shots at the Bastard that are ineffective. 40 lets off a few more shots of cover fire before the ramp fully comes up, and the ship comes out of the atmosphere, and you hear Zuso up in the cockpit. What took you guys so long?
You guys let Zuzo fly the ship on a getaway mission?
Someone had to come save your ass.
Look, you were not my first choice, but you were my only hope. So thanks, I guess.
Aw.
Shut up, 40. Is there a
Fabian
shower on this thing?
Fabian kind of exasperated.
Takes off the helmet, looks over like down the hall, and just like Zuzo, punch it. And then as I think
Boom! The second you say punch, boom, the ship jumps to hyperspace.
Yeah. I
40
think
has to
And
have
you all
his,
kind of
like,
lurch a little bit.
40 has his magnetic feet like clamped down, but his entire body bends backwards and touches the floor.
I love that.
As Thawbor kind of tries to muscle his way to the refresher to take a shower, I take him by the arm and just kind of look at him and go, look, I'm proud of you. I don't think I have the stomach to look everything I've done over the last decades in the eye and just lay it all bare the way you did. I'm incredibly proud of what you did.
I appreciate that.
But what in the void is wrong with you that you didn't contact us first before you sicked every goddamn criminal in the galaxy on your ass? What is wrong with you? Did you not think the Hutts, the Pikes, Crimson Dawn, and Black Sun weren't going to come knocking?
Look, I thought that it would be, no offense, a bad idea to cross the streams of our group here when, I'm trying to go legit. And, it's just so happens that if we were to maybe pick a de facto leader of the group, I think that, the fan vote would probably go for me. But realistically,
And
it's
Zuso
probably
at this point comes in and he's like, Misa thought I was the leader.
That's very nice. Hey, can you do me a favor and check on Kimmy? See if she's okay.
Okay. And he starts like excitedly picking apart the droid as you guys continue the conversation.
That you are probably in charge, and I just don't think that it would be a good idea to try to get the New Republic on my side when you are, who you are. And that's why I didn't call. Maybe I could have let you know, but I felt like if I didn't do it at the exact moment that I thought of it, then I wasn't going to do it. Because let me tell you, I regret it already. Doing the right thing is highly overrated and ill-advised.
Listen, it's not easy. And there's a reason why I kind of have a gentleman's agreement with Donrick to not talk about the whole Inquisitor thing.
That guy.
But we have allies with the New Republic. Okay, they obviously must have granted you some type of immunity for you to give up all of this information. You're part of this team. Just because you're on Daiyu doesn't undo what happened 6 months ago. We would have been there. We wanted to be there, knowing that you were going to put yourself in danger.
Look,
we risked our lives to get you off of the Junkyard Leviathan. Do you think we're going to piss that away so that you can get yourself killed by a bunch of fucking thugs?
Then I would owe you all more than the one time that I already do. And it's not a position that I want to find myself in, even though I like/tolerate this group. I don't remember signing a membership card just because we had some wacky misadventures. I appreciate it. I'm very glad you saved me the ones, but I don't need to be saved repeatedly. I made it this far, just me, Pre-Poke, and Kimmy. And I like you all. And I thank you for saving me again. But now that's 2 that I owe you. And God knows how one day I'll have to repay those 2 while I'm trying to, clean up. And when you owe people things, it's just not good. You try to work off your debts. You do something wrong. You try to make it right. It's a whole thing. You end up not telling people why you hired them or why you work with them or why you won't work with them. And I don't have enough time for that. Any more questions? I don't ask you about, murder.
Well, that's wildly reductive, and my point stands. I'm proud of you, but you might have to just get used to the fact that there are people in the galaxy who give a damn more than whatever favor you might be able to pay down the road. Next time you're going to do something batshit insane, how about you let the assassin droid, the cyborg, and the ex-Jedi know ahead of time?
I resent you making this all about you being upset that I didn't call you. 40, how was your summer?
Well, I got my face made.
Misa did his face pretty good.
Oh, you too.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
I knew you were my favorites. If I had to rank the members of this team, it would be me, and then you two tied here, and then Kimmy, and then Sage that one time, and then the food truck, and then not Donrick, everyone else that we met but Donrick, then Fabian, and then Donrick.
Love you too, Thalbor.
Oh, Donce is on the comm, by the way.
Donrick's on the horn. Oh,
yeah, that's why I came back here. I forgot because I started picking with the droid.
No, you're good. Put him on.
As he's putting him on, 40 grabs both of Thalbor's shoulders and looks down at him and goes, "I love you."
Thalbor is reeling from that moment. There's not a hologram of Donrick that comes up. There's just a generic New Republic insignia that comes up on the hologram.
Won't even personalize his caller ID.
And then,
at least he called. At least he called.
You hear his voice come over the comm, and he says, Fabian, I've got good news and bad news. First of all, you might want to get to Daiyu because I don't know if you've heard, but Thalbor's got a bounty on his head by several notable crime syndicates. We suspect his life is very much in danger right now.
Thalbor leans forward with disgust on his face/trunk. Donrick, they know I'm on board the Bastard. The safe house is abandoned. It's probably burned down by now. 20,000 credits to set up. 20,000 credits to install new carpeting. Down the fucking drain. And I'm here. And Pre-Pokes, wherever he is, we don't exchange safe house information for this reason. That way it doesn't get beat out of one of us. And I'm here with Mr. Sensitive, the fucking boy wonder Gungan over here, and 40, my best friend.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that y'all are on top of things, and apparently hear these things before I do. But I'm glad you're okay, Mr. Sheems.
Too busy in the Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru on Coruscant there, Donrick?
No, quite the opposite, which leads to the good news. which is the best fucking lead we've had in months. We've got a confirmed sighting of Aurochs Ryza.
Oh, aren't we done with this?
So this is the bad news part of the good news. He's been taken prisoner by a crime syndicate, but luckily not one that's after Thalbor.
Those are hard to come by. Okay. Where?
So on the planet
which
Exarian.
syndicate?
On the planet Exarian in the Outer Rim, he's being held by the Doxos Syndicate.
Oh, no, the Doxos Syndicate.
You're familiar with them?
Yeah, Michael, can I?
Anyone who wants to, go ahead and make a lore check for me.
Is that going to be a D20?
Of the yes. And then
Everything's
you'll
on 20
add
now,
your
right?
lore modifier.
Well, I rolled a 19. What would be my lore modifier?
It would say under your skills,
intelligence. So I got lore +4 here. I'm gonna roll.
Okay. So I just got a 19 flat.
Okay.
Where the hell is it? 20 +4, 24.
You're rolling at 20. Okay.
Yee.
So Fabian and Thalbor, you're both pretty familiar with the reputation of the Doxos Syndicate.
Which makes sense because we both
exactly
ran in the underworld, yeah.
And especially you, Fabian, having been on the Gundark's Nest, the Doxos Syndicate came in and out of business there all the time, even though it was technically Hut space. They had at one point a pretty cordial relationship with the Huts. So the Doxos Syndicate about 10, 15 years ago was big on the rise. Like there were the 5 major crime syndicates, and they were a strong contender to be number 6.
Okay.
And they were expanding pretty rapidly. And then the founder of the syndicate, Zondoxos, was official story is he died. He was probably killed. And after that, they sort of stagnated a bit and chilled the fuck out. Kind of just went to their own corner of the Outer Rim, maintained cordial relationships with all the other syndicates. And since then, have been steadily expanding. And in the last few years, since the fall of the Empire and the Huts have gone into chaos, Crimson Dawn's kind of a shell of what it formerly was. There's some leadership issues in Black Sun. There's a lot of crime syndicates on the rise. Doxos syndicates starting to kick back up again. Not as violent expansion as they once were, but they're steadily on the rise. It's headed up by 2 men. One of whom is a Mune, who was a former stockbroker for the banking clan, who got kicked out of the banking clan for shady practices, which is the reddest of flags.
Yeah.
And the other one's just kind of a gangster who's been in and out of various prisons for the last 30 years.
Do we have a name and species for these guys? I mean, obviously we know the Mune, but
the other guy's a human. Thalbor, with your nat 20, yeah, you would know these guys' names. The Mune is Radel Taro, and the human is Marcelo Guster.
God damn.
So Thalbor will be like, their names are Radel Taro and Marcelo Guster, and you guys decide by group vote if those sound like the shadiest names ever bestowed upon babies in this galaxy. I think we're all in agreement. No one named Marcelo Guster is up to anything good, which is why I tried to keep my cases with them to a minimum over the past few years. I tried to anyway.
Well, are you saying that we have to fight babies? Because I am not okay with that.
No, 4D. No. They're just saying they were given bad guy names.
And no one's saying you have to fight them, because let me be clear.
Thank the light.
I don't think you guys can take on a whole crime syndicate on your own.
Oh, hey now.
But what I'm suggesting is you probably go to Exarian, try and get in good with these guys, and see if you can take their prisoner off their hands, maybe.
I have a question.
Okay. Welcome back to the crew.
I'm just saying, regardless of membership or dues or who's gonna make you feel like you have friends, Fabian, I just want to understand, why are you calling this ship about what very much sounds like a... Hold on a second. It says a you problem. And furthermore, are you just going to go rogue and do whatever you want every time you clock in, Donrick? And furthermore, how much is this gonna pay? Because it's been a rough week.
First of all, I'm not paying you anything. Second of all, fuck off. Third of all, the reason I can't do anything about this, or why the New Republic won't do anything about this, is because I did not obtain this information legally.
Are you the worst ever at being a space cop?
I'm sorry. What have you done to find salvage in these last 6 months?
I think you're talking to the squad that beat salvage. Well, you were, I don't know, doing whatever it is you do.
We made a promise to Donrick that we would not stop until this issue is finally buried.
The issue is buried.
You think while salvage
I'm
is
sorry.
still out there, there's any... You don't think he's not going to come for you?
You don't think that he goes back to being like, what was he? He was thousands of years old by the time we met him. Wouldn't he then just be like a 1-year-old again?
No! His core processor survives. Don't you understand? We have an immortal droid consciousness that is hell-bent on just causing as much devastation across the galaxy. The New Republic isn't willing to take the initiative on this issue. They're still pretending that the Imperial Remnant isn't around. Do you understand the stakes here? Yeah, maybe salvage isn't able to conquer the galaxy. I'm sure by the time that a couple Outer Rim systems fall, that the New Republic will call in the big guns. It'll call in their Harrison Dullas and that Luke fucking Skywalker blowhard. Yeah, they'll show up eventually once millions of lives have been lost.
You know,
I don't know if you fought in the Clone War, but I did. I know what this kind of devastation looks like. And not only did I fight in the Clone War, I fought for the Empire too. So I know what monsters like Salvage are capable of. Clearly, whatever act of self-sacrifice you're pretending you made with this syndicate sellout stunt was clearly not as altruistic as I wanted to believe it was. If you are actually willing to let this situation roil into the carnage it's going to.
40 Zuzo, your mother and I are fighting, and I need your help settling something.
Okay.
When we were all just being shot at because I decided that I wanted to make, a change, maybe a little, and this guy who thinks himself suddenly Leia Organa or something, thinks himself to be like a Mothma, thinks himself to be these great heroes of these halcyon days and the right thing and this, that, the other thing. When he was just being that great hero, what color was his lightsaber?
You watch your mouth flaps, James.
40, you've got visual processing. What color would you say that was?
I actually see in a little bit of code, but I believe it was red.
Now, I'm not saying anything by pointing that out, but what I am definitely saying in conjunction with that is that I did a lot of reading over the last 6 months. I did a lot of studying while I was locked up in that safe house for doing the right thing instead of doing an illegal thing and then asking a bunch of people that to do the right thing, like Donrick here. And I read up on your type, and I read up on how things work. So don't lecture me until you can ignite something that doesn't scare the kiddies. All right? I vote that we make me captain. Zuzo's with me. I see it in his eyes.
Me's okay with it.
I think you've won the jury over. Donrick, send me the information. And then Fabian just kind of shuffles off to his quarters, very visibly hurt.
Donrick, you haven't hung up yet. Is there something else? Do you maybe want to send in protection for me, who just made your job easier for like the next 20 years?
Yeah, that's not my department that you helped, first of all. And second of all, yeah, I can't send you any help because, like I said, I can't act on information that I didn't obtain through legal means.
Okay. All right. Well,
but that being
we'll
said,
see.
if you guys need support in any fashion, like information wise, I'll be ready.
All right. All right, Dominic.
Oh,
We'll
one
see how
last thing,
useful you are.
Thalbor.
Go on.
Go fuck yourself. And he hangs up.
40, set a reminder for once a cycle to tell me that I always have the option to turn him into his superiors and end his career. Thank you.
I will set the reminder. But
Thalbor, as you're kind of getting settled
We're
in, you're
friendly.
getting ready to go to the refresher to clean off. You do see a few changes in the Bastard. Namely, there is a little mantelpiece where Salvage's electro staff that nearly twice killed you is hanging up on display. And there's also like a formal like letter that you look over and it says it's from Mon Mothma. That's like a very generic thank you for everything regarding the Vuma and Junkyard Leviathan incident. You take a good look at it and you're like, yeah, that definitely wasn't written by Mon Mothma, but it was signed off by her.
That's funny. Thalbor pulls out his data pad and sees how much Amon Mothma's signature goes for on the HoloNet. Well, might be worth sending off to a van at some point.
All right. So as you all go, Thalbor, you go to the refresher. Fabian, you go off to your own quarters. Is there anything else you would like to do, say, narrate, go back and forth on, or do we want to fast forward to... I guess I should also ask, are you guys going to Exarian as Donrick suggested?
Probably. I don't know if there's a formal process you have in mind for this, but not just because Thalbor said some really mean shit. Absolute blows below the belt. He's kind of been attempting it semi-nightly. I think Fabian's going to try to meditate with his crystal again.
Okay. Let me see what I want to have you roll for this.
I think he's absolutely not in the headspace where this is going to work.
No, yeah, I agree.
I'm sure that I'm going to be rolling with disadvantage in some way.
Yeah.
But like,
go ahead and give me a wisdom check at disadvantage. So just add your wisdom modifier. You roll 2d20 and take the lower result.
Right. So that's an 18. I'm trying to roll badly this time, and now it's not working. I'm getting goblin kicking rolls right now. Oh, there we go. That's a nat 1.
Okay. So
what is this? A horrifying flashback of watching Jax Kalen get viciously murdered by Hawkscuff?
So you sit down with this crystal and you're like, I'll fucking show him. And you
take the lightsaber apart with the force. Force
yeah, like
style,
and you're angrily doing it. Like you're nowhere close to being in the right headspace. And as you
the words "I'll show that motherfucker" should never cross your mind while trying to purify a lightsaber crystal.
And you're not like reaching out. You're like it's a fucking jagged fingers, and you're trying to focus on that. And every time you think of the red blade, you think of everyone that you've killed with it, that you've maimed with it. Every red blade that you've seen kill and maim a Jedi, every red blade, every act of cruelty committed by an Inquisitor, by Vader, amongst you and your former Inquisitors. And in a very forceful snap, you find yourself like pushed against the wall. And Thalbor, you're like in the shower and you hear like in Fabian's quarters next over like a loud thud as he slams into the wall. and you just hear like a fuck.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. And Fabian, you see your crystal still glowing red. And yeah, that probably wasn't the best idea for me to try and do that right now.
Fabian very defeatedly like reassembles his lightsaber with the Force, and at this point just kind of like changes out of his undersuit and tries to get I think he goes over like the intel that Donrick sent on his data pad, and then I think he tries to hit the hay.
Okay. Alrighty. So the next day, you all awaken. The Bastard is just kind of chilling out in space right now. You guys got off Daiyu, got out of the system. Zuso just kind of brought you out into sort of a neutral zone in real space. The next day, everyone's up and kind of reconvenes in the main quarters, and Zuso's like, "So, are we going to that place Donson said to go?"
Yeah. We have to. We'll be able to, do our thing, we'll be able to get Aurochs, I'm sure we'll be able to. What's the name of this syndicate again, Michael?
The Doxos Syndicate.
I'm sure we'll be able to tell the Doxos that if they hand Donrick over to or hand Aurochs over to us, the New Republic will reward them handsomely, and I'm sure they'll reward us for bringing Donrick back into New Republic custody. So, Thalbor, you'll still get your payday.
Well, Misa wants to hear what my lawyer says.
See, it's the smartest thing you ever said. Look, I know that it sounds great to just run in and swing a laser sword and save people, but I don't know if you noticed from all the times we got our asses beat 6 months ago, it doesn't always work that well. So I think, while I am not vehemently opposed saying 100% no, we can't just go there and be like, hey, Syndicate. I think it's time to either beef up this crew with some hired guns. I think it's time to do some research. I think it's time to get a Doxos plant. I think it's time to forge some IDs. The Captain Thalbor era is going to be more efficient. All right. I almost got killed twice under the last era of management.
Well, I think that it's not a bad idea to have a little extra muscle, but time is of the essence. Aurochs Ryza did not get where he is without being good at the whole breaking out of prison thing. And we don't know what kind of body Salvage might have these days. Salvage was able to lead a prison break as a Magna Guard. How do we know that Salvage is not piloting around another droid that's going to be even harder to kill? We're going to need to do this as quickly as we can. And the best way to do it is going to be leveraging their greed against them and saying, hey, the New Republic will be happy to know that one of their most sought-after fugitives was brought to them by you.
All right, well,
I'm not trying to swoop in, lightsabers blazing. We'll go in to negotiate and mediate.
I want guarantees. How are we going to go in there with leverage from the New Republic when the New Republic didn't even sanction this, doesn't know, probably doesn't care, and doesn't know that we have been deputized by their worst employee? You want to be a hero? Why don't you give them a call right now on the comm and tell them that we have this intel and cut dipshit Callan out of the picture entirely? He's
okay
shady.
Then. Fabian forcefully stands up, walks over to the holo table, and punches in a number to talk to the rebel.
Yeah.
Who
would we call?
Of
or how would you have us roll to know who to call?
Yeah, I want to call the feds.
Fabian, you actually, Zuso still pulls up for you. At the end of the first season, when you guys called the New Republic for reinforcements, he saved that frequency. He's just got that on file, so you just call.
Well, I was going to say, we also got debriefed, so I'm sure they were like, "Hey, if salvage stuff ever comes up again, So
you get the that sort of New Republic intelligence employee on the line, and he's like, This is the Ionized Bastard?
Yes.
This is Thought
This
Sheaves'
is
office.
Captain
Please
Fabian
hold.
Martell.
Please hold. Please.
This is Zuso Yort.
Please hold.
Hi, I'm 40.
Everybody over here. I have an idea. I know I just preached honesty for a second, but if I may play devil's advocate for myself, what if, theoretically, I smooth talk this guy into thinking that there is an imminent threat, something of a terrorist nature, innocence, bombs, etc., bloodlettings, laser guillotines in the streets, all at the location where we're going, and get a bunch of backup. And then when they get there, we fill them in. Then we've got a whole ass squad. Chances increase. No money spent. Military support that they should care about this stuff.
It's like pathological for you, isn't it?
Did that not solve the money problem, the health problem, the I don't get my face smashed in problem?
One of your most sought after fugitives, we have his location.
Okay. And so why shouldn't we have them? You think you could solve it all, right? That's what it is, huh? That's what it is. Let me lie to this guy. Okay?
Why? What
It's what
purpose does
I'm
it serve to
good
lie to
at.
this motherfucker?
It is what I am good at. Look what honesty did. Honesty's not good.
Your greatest talent is defending scumbags and learning all the wrong lessons from it.
How dare you?
How dare I?
How
How
dare
dare
you?
I?
How
I have a
dare
red kyber
you?
crystal that would love to ask, how dare I?
That was just a fact. That was not my opinion. Your
You're gonna
opinion
let
is that
me-
I lose the wrong lessons. A fact is that you have a red lightsaber. I'm sorry that they didn't teach you the difference in whatever gloomy castle you were trained in. But anyway,
Whatever gloomy castle I was trained in. You know, Thalbor, I would love to know how much death and destruction you're capable of just making light of. Do you have any idea what being abducted and tortured into service under the Inquisitorius is like? No, you don't. You're concerned with your next dollar. You're on a ship that I have been leading for 6 months while you got to go find some like shred of morality. I have been the one who's been interfacing with the New Republic. You are going to let me take point on this.
I am going to. You're going to Jedi mind trick me?
It works on the weak-minded, so I'm sure it would work. But I value your autonomy in this situation too much to do so. Something that I can't honestly bet you do if you were the one who could touch the Force. We're going to do this my way.
Who says I can't? You know, they say with enough training.
Force push me.
Oh, you okay?
Call on the power of the Force. If you can force push me even a little bit, this whole operation's yours.
I bet an Ithorian scream is more powerful than a force push.
Is that a bet you want to make?
I'm just saying. How tough do you think the hull of this shithole is?
How tough is the hide that you're rocking right now?
Do you
Can I
hear
make
this
some
man?
type of intimidation check?
Do you hear this man saying hide instead of skin? That is just heinous hate crime.
So at this point, Zuso looks over at you guys and is like, he hung up.
Call him back.
Call him back.
I'm the captain. It was a vote.
I don't know.
I'm
I think
confused.
Fabian might have some points here. Just tonight, you know. Maybe,
Thank you, Zuso.
Maybe he's captain today. I'm captain tomorrow.
No.
Can I be captain the next day?
Yes.
I like that idea.
Maybe we should just hire somebody to fly this thing, and Zuzo can turn the storage area into a workshop, and Zuzo can be captain of his workshop. How does that
He
sound?
spent my money on my arm and my hat.
All right. Okay. You know what? Since nobody evidently cares about increasing our odds of survival, you do whatever you want. And when we get there, I will stay on the ship with the comms, and I'll talk to everybody. I'll talk to the New Republic. I'll call Donrick. I'll see
You
what
run your mouth flaps because that is absolutely the thing that you are the best at.
I will call everyone. I'll call Pre-Poke, see what he's up to. I'll call
Yeah, I was to say, do you have any other friends who aren't in this immediate room, or your underpaid little intern? You know what? Maybe I'll call the Hut Cartel or Crimson Dawn or Black Sun or the Pike Syndicate, and maybe I'll get to make a quick buck this time. Maybe I get to make a fortune off of somebody else's suffering. Maybe that's the thing I get to do now, Thawbor. I like this game. This is so much fun.
Maybe you should. You might have a better attitude if you weren't poor.
Zuzo, get our contact on the New Republic back on the Hollow, please.
Sure. You handle it.
Are you guys gonna put me on hold again?
No, I'm sorry. We were getting some stellar interference. We have reason to believe that Aurochs Ryza is in the custody of, what's the name of that syndicate again?
The Doxo Syndicate.
The Doxo Syndicate.
Oh, shit. Well,
we are more than willing to go make a pickup. However, we think it would be prudent to be able to go in with the ability to tell them that we may be able to guarantee them some amount of compensation from the New Republic for handing over their prisoner. This is also going to be a hike for us, so we will also likely need some form of compensation here for our, traversal through the galaxy to pick up Aurochs. So,
well, I don't know if we can get anyone down there because I know that it's not New Republic jurisdiction.
We'll handle all of that. We'll handle all of that. I just need a line of credits that we can give to the syndicate for handing over Ryza and to compensate us for fuel and labor.
Aurochs does currently have a bounty of 75,000 credits with the New Republic. So if you can use that to entice them for direct funding, I'd have to take it up with my superiors, but I can definitely do that and get back in touch with you after the fact.
You said 75,000?
Yes.
Okay, we can make that work.
Okay. And I know Donrick's technically the lead on the, Aurochs salvage Vuma thing, so I can give you his contact information as well if you need to get in touch with him.
Yeah, thank you. That would be nice. We haven't heard from Donrick in a minute.
Okay, yeah, and he gives you Donrick's comm frequencies as if it's something you don't already have. As you are pretending to type it in, you're like, and that frequency is.
Yeah, you got that 40? You got that 40?
Yes, I have them twice.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Is there anything else you need from us?
Stay by your comm link in case we need to reach out to you guys, and if things go left, we'll send up a flag.
Sounds good. Click.
You see how easy that was?
Yeah, did you miss the part about no, we can't send any sort of help because it's out of our jurisdiction?
Who's to say there's going to be a conflict? Okay, I think you underestimate the level of not fuck arounding we inspire when the ex-Jedi and the assassin droid and the cyborg Gungan walk into a room. It's we kind of cast a bit of a shadow. We're kind of foreboding in that way.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I am capable of killing many living beings.
And you know what? We love you for that. Because you know what you are, and you don't try to cover it up with a bunch of fake machismo and drama. So are we going to go now or what?
Zuzo's like, oh, yeah, he needs to put in the coordinates, and he types kind of like this, but really quickly. And he puts you all in the hyperspace.
As he reaches for that lever, I gently from again that kind of catty corner from the room, kind of poke my head in the cockpit and go, punch it easier. so that we don't know which side
he like looks you dead in the eye for
almost-
a solid like 3 seconds before.
Fabian almost gives himself a concussion how hard he hits the door.
Oh.
So you guys make the jump to hyperspace. Fabian, you do a bit more reading on Exarian. You know that its reputation is very similar to that of Cantobite, in that it is a very extravagant place of gambling, and there is a large casino there known as the Vera Casino, which is the primary headquarters of the Doxo Syndicate, more or less. And while, on its surface, it's a big casino, there are some lower levels where it's rumored the real business takes place, which is probably where Aurochs might be.
All right. Here's a question. Does anybody on this ship have a change of clothes to kind of, blend in the casino a little bit better?
You've probably got a few nicer pieces of clothing. Also, as another note I forgot to mention, I'm sorry. On Exarian, other crime syndicates are forbidden to do business. Like that is like a hard and fast rule there. So there's no threat of one of these fuckers coming after Thalbor, unless they want to risk starting, an intergalactic gang war.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So Thalbor, you feel a little safe in regards to probably not going to get shot in the face here for reasons that have already been established.
At least by a gangbanger. Okay, cool. Well, I think Fabian cleans himself up a little bit. I think he has kind of like a nice, very formal duster, but he still has his lightsaber on his person.
Yeah. And Zuso is like trying to figure out if he wants to have 40 wear D6 as a hat or if he wants to keep it for himself. So he's like going back and forth for like 30 minutes.
Thalbor has Kimmy like steaming the suit he was wearing to make it nice again, and like a droid steamer that just kind of floats and everything, and like using her little
appendages to.
I think we can make a stop on our way if we know like the layout. I think we can make a stop and like get Thalbor something he wasn't nearly killed in. Fabian makes a point of being like, do you want to make a stop to get something that you'd feel more comfortable being in?
Are you trying to get on my good side?
No, I'm not trying to get on your good side. I'm trying to be fucking decent. I know that is an alien
the
concept.
Safe houses are. Was that a joke about me being an alien? How dare you? The safe houses are probably all under attack because they share one database between them, which would make them traceable if you found one. So I can't show up at any of them for any of these reasons. So when we get to port, we can always hit up nearby shops and haunts.
Oh, that's what I meant. I meant like stopping like at a planet you think you could find like a good thing at, or like just getting you clothes on world. I didn't mean stopping at one of your safe houses because that sounds batshit insane to do.
You want to take me shopping? Is that what it is? Let's just go to Exandria. When we get there, I'm sure there's a casino store or something.
Damn, Alden beat me to it. You son of a bitch. You think you're slick, McCoy? You think you're slick?
It's actually a Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
Oh, son of a bitch, we were both wrong.
So as you guys take it easy for the rest of your journey there, you guys come out of hyperspace and you come into the atmosphere of this world where you see a bustling kind of city environment, kind of reminiscent of Nar Shaddaa, really, on a very small scale, with this large casino facility that goes for a couple miles, really. And as you guys sort of come into the atmosphere, you see that there's a lot of hustle and bustle going on here. There's a lot more ships than you'd expect here, just kind of flying around. There seems to be something big going on here. As you come into the atmosphere, someone comes over your comms from one of the one of the sort of hangars. Is this the ionized bastard?
Yes, this is Captain Fabian Martel.
Okay. Your docking fee has been waived as per orders from management, and you are ordered to land in hangar 60.
Copy that. Thank you.
Copy that.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
And when you land, one of the bosses wants a word with you.
Excellent. We would like a word with them.
So
They waived the fee, Fabian. They waived the fee. That translates into we want control over you. We want you where we want you. Not we want you.
Maybe. Here's the thing. Maybe you're right. They probably recognize this is a mutually beneficial situation. There's also the fact that maybe they understand what we're here for. It's not like the people of the Outer Rim and all the crime syndicates don't know, oh, hey, the prize fighter from the Gundark's nest and a bunch of other people took out fucking Salvage. They probably know why we're here. We're the ones who killed Salvage the first time. They know we're here to collect his first mate and get intel out of him.
All right. Okay.
So as you land in this hangar, Zuso brings the ship down very gently, and you guys lower the ramp, and he's like, do we... You see Zuso is just like wearing his normal attire, but also a tie, which does not go with his like very casual outfit.
No. I think Fabian's wearing something like not as like over the top as like a Lando getup, but like classier than Han Solo, like somewhere in between there. Like it's still like semi-tactical, but it's like semi-formal wear as well. Kind of clean it up a little bit.
And as you all walk down the ramp of this ship, you hear a loud booming voice that says, eventually you find your way back to me. And you see Fabian, a Nautilin with several rings along his fingers, clapping, and he comes in and he gives you a big hug as you see your former employer, Loxy Boar, is here.
I kind of like grab Loxy by the shoulders. I kind of like give him a little bit of like a, you are my number one, a guy, kind of like shoulder rub, and I kind of give him one of those.
He's like, I see you're still traveling with the droid repairman and the lawyer. And look at this, you've got an assassin droid.
I pull him close and I go, Loxy, it's really good to see you. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not a little angry about the whole leaving us to die on the Gundark's nest thing.
I told you where this ship was. You were fine. You could take care of yourself. My rocket boots couldn't carry you too.
Well,
don't show me money.
You could have been a little bit more forthcoming, so you owe me one. What's going on?
I would like to say we're even, given that I told you where the ship was, where clearly that was your way off the nest.
Okay, we can discuss this more in depth later. Otherwise, I'm very happy to see you, Loxy. It's been too long.
I'm very happy to see you too. I waive your docking fee. I get you safe landing. You know how hard it is to find a hangar right now because of how busy things are here.
Yeah, what's all the hustle and bustle about?
You see, the Doxo Syndicate, my new employers, are throwing a big event because they're in the middle of a big acquisition, shall we say. There's an arms dealer named Clyde DeMale who is selling his business to the Doxo Syndicate, and it is going to be a rather large acquisition. So we're throwing a few events to sort of appease him once they finally put pen to paper on all these details,
Well, congratulations to you and your friends.
Oh, well, thank you. It's, you come at a good time, Fabian. I've got a great idea, something for you. Big fight, something like you've never seen before. I think you would be perfect man for the job.
You know what? Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal, you and me, right now.
I love when you say that.
Between two old business partners, am I right? You just so happen to have your hands on somebody we are very interested in doing a bit of a transfer for, taking out of your hands so you don't have to worry about them anymore, and taking care of them. So I will get back in the fighting pits. Fabian Martel, the saber of the Gundark's nest. Do all that, song and dance again, even though I'm not super keen on it, but I'll do it for you. We get to leave this lovely, lovely establishment with one Aurochs Ryza in binders.
Oh, shit. You want Aurochs?
We need Aurochs.
Oh, shit. I'll tell you what, I'm not in charge of prisons. I just run some of the games and stuff around here.
Of course. But Loxy, you're such a big time operator. I'm sure you got to have some amount of pull here. Am I right?
Well, let me tell you, I'll get you a meeting with Radel Taro and Marcelo Guster, and you two can work out. All of you can work it out with those two, right? You think you make a deal, but you can't get a meeting with them normally because they're the biggest criminals in the galaxy.
Of course. I mean, hey, fuck Jabba, fuck Kira, fuck Maul, like they're all out of the picture, man. It's these guys now. They're the Dons.
Exactly. Now, it may not be just you. You may need them to help you as well, because this is a sort of big event. I know they may not be the best fight. I mean, the assassin droid and the Gungan can probably handle themselves, but I've seen you shoot a gun before, Ithori, and I think you can do it too.
Okay, all right. Can we stop with the Bantha Voodoo for just a second? You're gonna tell me, businessman to businessman, the details that you're leaving out about the Dons and Aurochs, and why it would even be a question of removing a threat like that from their midst, amidst their sail and amidst their rise. Don't you think that's a little fishy? And I think that, maybe 1,000 credits might clear up why that's fishy to you. And you tell us what you know, since you love your friend Fabian so much and you want him to have a easier time. I think maybe Don Loxy at some point. Just call me crazy.
Make a persuasion check.
Fuck this. I ain't fighting. Fuck this. I ain't never fought a day in my life. Persuasion right here. My fucking plus 11 persuasion. It's 17.
Okay. Well, I'm flattered by that idea. It's a nice one. But you don't really like to fuck with these guys, They've done some shit. But I mean, the reason why Aurochs in particular is I don't know what he did some 20 years ago, but he really pissed these guys off. So I don't know if I'm sure they'd be willing to let them go for a price or for someone who helps them, because again, we want this event to be big. So you scratch their back and mine in turn, and they scratch yours, maybe.
I'm happy to step into the fighting pits again. I'm sure 4D could be convinced, and I have 50,000 reasons why they might be interested in letting us take Aurochs off their hands.
Hold on. I offered you 1,000 credits to just tell me that they want to keep the guy. I knew that. That's a 500 credit piece of information.
I think they would be entitled to part of the reward for handing over Aurochs.
And you can sort that all out with them when you meet with them, But first, you have to do this. It's not a traditional fight. Maybe it would be easier if I show you. Would you come with me down to the garage?
Absolutely.
I'm not paying you. But I will.
I don't want your money. You couldn't pay me half of what these guys are paying me. I just need to make sure that this event is good, or else it's my ass,
go. Let's go to the garage. Let's go.
All right, and he takes you to a turbo lift and keys in a few buttons. It requires a fucking password for him to type in, as it takes you guys down a few
Real
levels.
quick, can any of us do a perception check to see if we know that we can notice?
I was
the
about
password?
to ask that since Kimmy is her own character, is she getting this?
I can say if you want to. Yeah, Kimmy can record what.
Yeah, because Kimmy was always recording in season 1. I think I only ever said it once.
Yeah.
Or twice.
You say it a few times. Yeah.
At some point, maybe now that Kimmy plays like a character now, so now maybe later to get it.
Peeks her little head out and gets what that password does, goes back into your pocket. And you guys come out of this turbo lift into almost like a bunch of like storage units that are fairly large. And you come to this one with a metal kind of like shed door, and Loxy bam, bam, bam,
you're fucking with me.
Bangs on it, lifts it up, and inside you see a human man who
oh, thank God.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have him describe it. Scotty, would you like to describe your character?
I knew it! I knew it in my bones! I knew you were gonna be here! You son of a bitch! Oh, let's
okay. For the
go.
benefit of the viewer, if Michael wants to leave this in or not, I just want.
Oh no! This is saying in.
Just texted us saying, "Are you guys almost done?" And I said, "Yeah, probably winding down soon."
Well, for the sake of our audience, Jared, please tell the full story of how
we're telling the story. Good. So back when we were all in Louisiana for Scotty's wedding, Jerry and I were explaining to Scott how much we love doing Ionized Basterds and how much fun this was. And we were explaining the mechanics of it to Scotty, and he offhandedly goes, "Oh, well, I don't know if Michael wants me to tell you guys this, but apparently I'm going to be showing up in a handful of episodes as like some pod racer kind of guy. I don't remember all the details, but like I just said, Michael told me we're not supposed to know. You're not supposed, but like, hey, it's supposed to be a thing. I'm excited for it.
That was true. Scotty and I had been planning this since like season 1 ended. So like at least a month up to that point.
So you're like, oh, wow. And then we go to tell Michael, and Michael's like, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
I was like, well, Scotty hasn't told me this, in an attempt to salvage this moment and reveal it to you guys here. So Scotty, if you would please like to describe your character for us.
My name is Lonnie Gibstra. I am from Corellia. I have a very sketchy past. I, too, broke out of UVO 4, but not because I was involved, but it was because I was, I guess, someone who benefited from a situation.
Now, was UVO 4 the prison that Orox was sprung from by salvage?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I just happened to be lucky. I am a prankster. That's how I ended up where I was at in UVO 4. And I got involved with the crime syndicate, which will be revealed later how and why. But yeah, nice to meet everyone.
So you see this human man. Scotty, if you want to describe his pod racer as well for us.
It is a beautiful, like obsidian black, smooth looking pod racer. It's gorgeous.
Like
this picture
like a Tesla racer.
Even better than that. It's like this. It's like if Apple designed a pod racer. It's like the most sleek thing. But the problem, well, actually, I won't say anything about it. Just know that you see it outwardly.
Engines are almost like claws at the front.
Yes, engines are like beautiful claws.
And it's very sharp. Like it looks like an aggressive racer.
Yes.
And you also notice that there is like the engines, the pod, and then there's another platform attached to the back.
That's right.
And Loxy sort of leans up against the wall and he's like, we've planned an event for tomorrow called the Pod Race Royale. And each racer has a crew of fighters that are trying to kill each other. Not each other on the same pod, each other on the other pods. Or the other racers. You know, you do you. I'm not.
So I am supposed to work for this gentleman that I just met.
Yeah.
In a race of life and death. to possibly earn a conversation with these guys.
Not possibly. I will definitely get you a conversation with these
If
guys.
we survive.
Yeah.
That would
But you
require
have Fabian. Look, Fabian would keep you alive no matter what, right?
He's done a pretty good job so far.
Beaten to a pulp 2 times. He has also saved me 2 times. So he's
3 times.
He's a 0 in my eyes.
3 times.
I think I saved myself one of those times.
Oh, you were gonna get out of that shitstorm on Daiyu by yourself.
Yep.
I helped.
I was working on it.
Oh,
40
I know you helped 40. That's what Thawbor does. He requires the help of every single person who has been spending the better part of a year on the Ionized Bastard to come bail his ass out.
What are these clowns?
Of situations he got himself in. Excuse me.
Look, Lonnie, these are the best fighters. You don't have a fucking crew right now. You don't get to speak to me like this.
Lonnie, what
you
happened
know
to your
what
last
happens
crew?
if you don't race tomorrow?
Why doesn't Lonnie have a crew?
He spent all his credits refurbishing the blasted pod racer to install his Remnicor engine.
Okay. All right.
It's a good engine.
I would like to very much know, can Lonnie defend himself? Lonnie, if you want to
pilot the racer, it's your job to defend him.
I was a prankster back on Corellia, mind you. I defended myself. I literally used to block and deprogram comms in the helmets of stormtroopers just to mess with them and have them walk off cliffs, have them walk into water, have them get crushed. It happens.
All right. Well, my last concern.
Fabian's a little freaked out by the fact that pranks, according to this guy, was like murdering motherfuckers.
What would you say are your odds? Do you have a win-loss record? Because as far as I'm concerned, last time I checked, rather, they say that humans never finished except this one time, but that is not confirmed.
Well, Lonnie's a good racer. He had a few bad runs recently, which is why he's required to race, or else he will die. But, I think with the new Remnicor engine, and at this point you hear the turbo lift come down again, and you just hear someone yell, "I want to see it!" And you see someone come barging in, a human man with a puffy leather jacket that's fur lined, and he is not wearing a shirt under it.
It's Craven.
You see, he's got like an undercut, or not an undercut, like a mohawk that's like flipped on one side. He looks to be about in his mid-30s, and next to him is a human woman whose hair is tied back in like a full suit, like standing in a very like enforcer bodyguard position beside him. Fabian Thawbor, this is Clyde DeMale. I take it you're here to see. I want to see the fucking Remnicor. And he like walks over to the pod racer and lifts the hood up. And he looks down. And he's like, "Look at that beauty. I've only ever heard about these. These are something else, let me tell you." Right, Lonnie?
You know how hard it was? You know how hard it was to get that? Do you have any idea what I went through?
I can only imagine. I mean, there's only a few of these prototypes, and they were designed by Rugus Gnome himself, so you know.
I had to write a poem. I don't write poems. I get AI to write them for me.
Oh, God.
Fabian leans into Thawbor and in kind of like a whimsical, kind of silly way goes, "I kind of like this guy."
And as you sort of lean into Thawbor, you do see the enforcer like start to reach for something like a weapon, and then when she sees you just talking, just kind of goes back, and she looks at you for a second. Fabian Martel.
Do I know this person?
You do not.
Yes, I am Fabian Martel. Pleased to meet you. I put my hand out to shake her hand, and you would be?
Halix Slifer, Master Assassin.
Oh, pleasure to meet you. I'm sure we unfortunately ran in similar circles for a good time there.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Master Assassin, Halix
No.
Slifer.
Slifer. Yeah. I recall that coming across my desk a few times. Great things. Really, really great things.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And she
can
looks
I,
back
can
at
I just-
Faben.
Can I get the full gravity of this reputation?
Let me see what kind of check. It's probably going to be another lore check. So are you trying to like read her as a person, or like?
Well, it's just
think
like
back into your mental catalog of like what you know about her.
Right, because I think a master assassin, similar to Fennec, is like at least like in the way that Din was like, oh yeah, Fennec Shane, I'm not fucking with her. Like, there's at least gotta be like, even if I roll a 1, the names come across my desk, which is why I said it that way.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a lore check for me.
Okay, I got lore +4.
While all this is going on, 40 kind of breaks through the crowd, reaches out a hand towards Lonnie and says, I am 4D. I am pleased to be your friend.
You're just a program.
How dare you? He's got more
You
personality
watch
than
your
Saban.
mouth.
It is okay. I am just technically a program. I thought that's why you would like me.
You're so much more than that, 4D.
I used to take apart things like you and shove it up my ass.
You know the kind of things I used to take apart,
Wow.
Lonnie? Watch your mouth when you're talking to my friend.
And who are you again?
So Alden, what did you get for your lore check?
No, it's okay. I'm really enjoying Lonnie having no regard for anyone in the group. I got a 19, 15
Okay.
+4.
Halix Slifer obviously has earned a reputation as a master assassin. He's incredibly deadly, proficient in at least 7 or 8 different martial arts, is notable for killing a few different notable people over the years. Has done kind of work for a little bit of every crime syndicate, but over the last 10 years doesn't seem to have done much. You do know that she's worked closely in those 10 years with Clyde DeMalle, who is this sort of prolific arms dealer in the Outer Rim, who is now fascinated by this pod racer engine.
And so Clyde is the one. Is Clyde?
Clyde's the shirtless guy
So
who's
Clyde is selling this organization.
Yeah, he's selling his business to the Doxos Syndicate, and they're here to finalize details.
Okay, so he's like, oh, I've seen your name come across my desk. A lot of impressive feats. Is feats underselling it? The displays, I don't know. Been a little quiet over the last decade or so, but are you bodyguarding?
Bodyguarding. I also handle some of the more minutia of the arms dealing trade. Clyde makes all the big tactical decisions. I manage some of the more day-to-day things.
Do you like working for Clyde?
Sure. She looks over at Faben. I saw several of your fights in the pits. Impressive.
Thank you. I can't come by it, honestly. That's some stuff I'm super proud of. But
I saw your last fight in the pit, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. I can't say I'm super proud of how that went, but thank you.
Don't be ashamed. He had it coming. I like her. And she looks over at Clyde and she's like, are we done?
Fabian's just like visibly uncomfortable because I think he spent so much time like trying to walk the straight and narrow as best he can that like getting affirmed for going like full yellow eyes, like berserker rage and trying to murder Hawkscuff in cold blood. Like getting affirmed for that makes him like visibly uncomfortable.
And she looks over at Clyde and she's like, you've seen the engine. Can we go now? And he's like, I guess we ought to go see Radel and Marcello now. Lonnie, looking forward to seeing you in the race tomorrow. They promise big things. Better do good, because I want to see that Remnicore in action.
Thank you for helping me fund the Remnicore, sir.
Oh, it wasn't me. It was Radel and Marcelo. And just remember, if you don't do well, that's on you. And you suffer all the consequences therein.
Excuse me, Clyde.
Yeah.
Before you go, Dalbor Sheems, Esquire.
Pleased to meet you. And as he shakes your hand, again, because you rolled so well with lore on Halex, I'll tell you a little bit about Clyde as well. Clyde's gotten a bit of a reputation as like a mad genius. Like he's the kind of guy you wouldn't expect to be a competent criminal. And in fact, a lot of his early criminal record does not reflect that. But in the last 10 years, he's built like a really successful arms dealing business, has managed to make some really good deals, managed to pull off some really impressive things, and has made like a very sophisticated name for himself. So when rubber meets the road, actually kind of like a competent and dangerous person.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well.
You're in some hot shit, aren't you?
Well, you know, hard work pays off, dreams come true, bad times don't last, but bad guys do. I noticed you were really impressed by unique technology. Have you met my friend Zuzo Yort here, an amphibious cyborg? That's interesting, huh?
These are the only cyborg Gungan. As another one, but you seem pretty swell too. And Zuso's like, what? And it's like really like shaking at the notion that there's another cyborg Gungan. And Clyde just turns back to you. So yeah, as you were saying,
yeah, I'm just interesting guy. You get along with all sorts of characters. Obviously, there's this poet racer guy, and and me, and we run in the same circles. I'm just curious, why sell? Why sell to these guys?
Look, a lot of my assets, I like credits. I like a lot of credits.
He does.
And you know what? My assets are not credits, but they could be traded for credits.
But don't you worry about, how they'll treat you as sort of the creator and progenitor of this whole enterprise? Like, are they going to have the same vision for your company?
I don't give a fuck. You think I'll give a fuck what they do with my business?
What's going to be the next thing once you have the credits?
That's for me to figure out 6 months from now.
He slowly takes out a Diet Coke and cracks the Diet Coke.
So you don't really care what they do with the business then. Did they just make you the highest offer, or was there a particular reason why
we've been
do business with
negotiating for some time now, and I like the way they've done business with me in the past. So, I think
so. They seem agreeable, good to do business with.
Of course, Radel's got a good head for business. He used to be a stockbroker.
Oh, yeah. I think I recall some information.
Fabian kind of chuckles to himself because he knows that comment was racially motivated.
Fabian, do they normally talk this much?
I don't know Kano over here very well, but this is pretty stock standard for Thalbor.
Loxy kind of looks over and he's like, they like to talk a lot. But don't worry, we're getting your crew sorted out.
I just have one more thing. And people are getting impatient around this, but it's important. Good to do business with, agreeable guys, big pockets. Do they seem vengeful, if that makes sense? Have you heard anything about a prisoner they're particularly proud to have?
I don't know fuck about that. So,
all right, well,
Thalbor pulls out his data pad, the equivalent of handing a business card. Scans his or wherever it is.
Yeah.
So you call me if you ever need anything. And just one last thing. Sorry, Lonnie owes you money.
No, Lonnie and Halex sort of steps in as she's ushering Clyde back toward the turbo lift, like a guiding parent. Kind of moving her like easily distracted child. She looks over. Lonnie owes the Doxos Syndicate a lot of credits, and this is his way of paying them off, assuming he does well.
I always do well.
Well, as long
You
as
wouldn't
I'm
be in
riding
this mess if
shotgun
you
with
did.
him, I'll make sure he does better than well. And I kind of slap him on the shoulder.
All right.
Jovially.
Goodbye, new friends. Very nice talking to you. Lonnie, we need to talk about options.
And
I go
Loxley
to
is there, and
shake,
he's like, I think we've came to the best option.
I go to shake scary bodyguard lady's hand and go, "It's a pleasure meeting you. Gotta talk again sometime."
She just sort of silently nods before
Look at
ushering
him.
Clyde to the turbo lift.
An attempt at Riz in times like this.
I'm
40
trying to do
sheepishly
business.
waves.
40, can you do me a favor?
Anything, friend?
Do you have some sort of patrol mode or kill the next thing that comes down that turbo lift if it looks threatening mode?
Unfortunately, I do.
Okay. Well, you just be ready to kick some ass if we need to. Loxy,
If I have to.
how willing are you to go a little bit off script on this plan?
Given that my job is on the line, it really depends on how you're talking.
I am not keen on dying in the pod racer of somebody that I do not know. And Lonnie, I don't think you should have to risk your life to get out from under the thumb of these guys. I thought you said you were a prankster, a rebel, a rabble rouser.
Between you and me, there's more to come.
More to come tomorrow during the race?
It wouldn't be a surprise if I said it now.
He is correct.
And-
that is how surprises work.
Thank you, 40. Look, is this a kind of surprise where we all live?
Not worried about you.
What can I do to convince you to worry about me?
But Lonnie will keep you alive because you will keep Lonnie alive. And if the rules of the race, if the entire crew dies, the racer loses by default. So therefore, it is in his interest to keep you alive.
Look, I'm just saying, this seems extremely ill-advised. With everyone in this room, Loxy, if you want to get on board, we could break out Orox and then just get the reward ourselves.
Not
Free
that easy.
Lonnie with that
Not
money.
that easy. Not that easy.
Yeah, what's
Not
one
that
more
easy.
syndicate trying to kill you?
That's not that easy.
You don't. I don't think that's not how this works. You can't just break Orox out of crazy.
Do you know who we're going up against? Do you realize who else we're going to be going up against?
No, because we still don't know anything because Thalbor's tried to do everything in his power to obfuscate any amount of having to commit to something that isn't a credit. So, no, who is our competition?
Is Quick Draw Quasar there?
There's a couple of names. There's a couple of names I think a lot of you are familiar with.
Like? No.
Have you heard of the Bunta Eve Classic?
Oh, that's okay. That's so much better than what I was anticipating. Yes, I've heard of the Bunta Eve Classic. I actually, funny enough, there's that other human pod racer. I met him when I was a Jedi. He died in the temple with a lot of
too
other
much.
people.
Do you want me to talk?
okay.
Did you had questions? Are you gonna ramble on? You're just
Please,
like
Raven,
Bob
let
over
them
here.
get the
You
word
don't
in.
shut.
Come on.
You don't shut the fuck up. Dude, it's me. Exhibition's me.
Loxy and Fabian share like a very like non-verbal I'm gonna hit this motherfucker kind of thing, but no, Lonnie, please.
Have you heard of Eb E. Endicott?
Yeah.
No.
He's a Triffian. He's a thrill seeker. He was in the Bunta Eve Classic. And so was another famous one. Bull's Roar.
There's
Okay.
also Shrivel Braytrand and some Trandoshan as well.
There is a Trandoshan and his pit crew.
Like I
You'll
said,
find
it's
that
not
out.
going to be easy, but
There's a
And,
reason why there's a back platform. I man the helm, really. I kind of take control of most of the scenario. I just need you there contractually and for repairs.
and
And
to kill
for
people.
and to kill people. Yeah, definitely to make sure people die. And you got to realize it is not just like a simple, oh, we just got to go through caves and cracks this time around. It's it's a doozy. A little bit of flying section, some upside down section. It's gonna be a lot. You're gonna have to have your magnet boots on, and it's it is not as easy as conventional pod racing is. For those that don't know, that it's this is gonna that's gonna seem like a cakewalk. Here, it's gonna be more like a boardwalk.
Okay. Well, I like our odds.
Oh, you like
We
our
have-
odds? Didn't
have
you
one of the
lose your last like
greatest-
4 races?
I've never.
That was without the Remnicor engine.
Now I have a Rimnicor engine. Yes.
And without an HK assassin droid, and without one of the best mechanics in the Outer Rim.
And Zuso, you see, is still like in the corner, like processing the fact that there's another cyborg Gungan. And it's just like rubbing his forehead, like not listening.
Well, since nobody wants to put their head together and come up with a way out of this, a way around this, even a way up to the boss's room so we could talk to them, I guess this is Boon to Eve Classic 2.
I gotta shake what's Scotty's character's name again? I forgot it already.
It's on the screen.
I know. Okay, it's on the monitor far away from me. And
Lonnie.
the letters are tiny. Lonnie.
Gibstra.
I go to shake Lonnie Gibbstra's hand. You got yourself a crew.
It's a wet hand. The hand's kind of wet, oily.
You don't know if it's oil, sweat, grease, or
any other
gas.
fluids.
It's just a wet. You just feel it, and you kind of regret it.
And as you
I regret it too. I'm like, why am I touching this guy's hand?
as
I
you
don't
sort
like
of
people.
uncertainly shake his hand, Zuso looks over and he yells out, "Is no one else concerned that there's another cyborg Gungan?"
Suzo, he just said that to rattle you. It was a power move. He alphaed you.
This is the only person I like here. Zuso, it's nice to meet you.
Nice
I like
to
your
meet you.
energy. Don't be
Lonnie,
sad, buddy.
would you allow Zuzo to have like 15 minutes to go inspect the pod? He is our mechanic.
No. Not happening.
So we're all going to improvise and learn as we go.
I'm telling
All
you, this
right.
is the best pod racer ever made.
You should just listen.
I wouldn't
to
look
Lonnie.
at this
I
damn
trust
thing.
him.
It's beautiful.
I Jedi
Why
mind
is
trick
my
Lonnie to let us
Raven?
inspect it. I Jedi mind trick
would
Lonnie
you-
to let us
He's trying
inspect
to
it.
Jedi mind trick Lonnie?
Let's do a little PvP rolls.
Do you want to see it? How about you just want to see it? I'll show it to you. You don't have to inspect it. So I'm going to take the tarp off. Are you ready? The tarp's going to be taken off.
Jared's already trying to mind trick you. So you're just talking while Favorite is focusing?
Here you go. The tarp has been taken off. It's beautiful. Hold on. So I can turn off my
Yeah, that's
light.
kind of hot.
I love that that's the reference that you use. That's so fucking smart. When you said it's got the claws at the front, I was like, that's got to be something.
There it is. That's
So,
it.
yeah, you see this pretty sleek pod, actually. Like, it looks pretty impressive.
You don't need to open it up. I like the Gungan guy. Don't let him touch it. My baby, my Rimnicor engine, my work, my love.
Look, Fabian, this guy is my new Fabian. I put the trust in him that I put in you.
Ow.
It's a compliment.
You know, Fabian's still kind of rattled from what Thalmor said a day ago in that little screamer they got into. So hearing the words, he's my new Fabian, is like kind of an emotional shotgun blast to the chest. But I think Fabian at the end of the day does like kind of trust Luxie enough to be like, all right.
Well, let's get you all ready for that race tomorrow, huh? And as he claps his hand around your shoulder, Fabian, and you guys prepare to embark on whatever the fuck the pod race royale is, that's where we're going to end this session.
Wait, can I add one thing?
Sure.
I walk up behind 4D and I attach something to his back. And he doesn't notice and no one else notices.
Yeah, 40's
I'm gonna make a stealth check for you real quick.
I just want
to 40, you definitely notice him put something on your back.
Okay.
Does he say something?
Ooh, a gift. Thank you, friend. Fabian, look what Lonnie gave me.
What's that?
I'm not
What's
really
that?
sure.
He
Kind
put something
of like
on 4D.
40, turn
like
around.
Kind of little friends that Zuzo made for us last
4D, turn around, buddy.
Lonnie, what did you put on his back?
A restraining bolt. So I could take him over in the middle of the race.
Zuzo immediately sees that, pops that shit off, and then has his little hat droid emit a shock to you.
Oh yeah, and while he does that, Fabian, not like a force choke, but does like kind of like lift Lonnie with the force.
Mm-hmm.
And very sternly is like, you're not going to do that to 4D again. Are we clear?
Not quite.
I force push him into the wall.
So as you
I'm starting to question our friendship.
start bullying Lonnie into cooperation, that's where we'll end this episode of Ionized Bastard.
Oh man.